Namaste. Welcome back to Waking Up with Mindful Serenity Yoga. I am going to attempt the 4-minute discussion on a concept pulled from the jar again, and I'm going to try my best to stay within those 4 minutes. I have been going way over. I'm going to begin by taking a deep breath so I can anchor myself into my body, into the moment, and into the wiser part of myself that we all have inside us. So I'm pulling out a concept, and the concept I'm going to speak about is close. Close. So I've already spoken about open and what it means to be open. And to be open is to be non-resistant and accepting of life, allowing all experiences to come in as they're meant to and blow out as they're meant to. If we can think of ourselves as these rooms, the body and the mind as a room that has a window or a door opening on one side and a window or door opening on the other, and it's May, for example, and there's a big beautiful breeze coming through to cleanse your house with. It comes in, the breeze comes in, and it blows out. Both windows, both sides are open, so we have that ventilation and that spaciousness within, and it stays uncluttered, right? When we are open, we keep the windows open, and we allow life, whatever life is, the suchness of life, the reality of life, the good, the bad, the ugly, what we deem as good, bad, or ugly, because we're all concepts. No experience is bad or wrong. All experiences are exactly what they're supposed to be, but we as humans have a tendency to judge certain things as bad and unwanted and push those away, and we have a tendency to judge things as good and wanted and pull them in, thinking that they're going to make our inner worlds more comfortable, more acceptable, so that we can make sense of the external world around us and our place as human beings within it. So if we have these open windows and we're allowing life to come in, grief, loss, all those things, if we can make sense of who we are, knowing that we're meant to be spacious, not meant to be identified with what furniture we put in our house or what things we stuff and store and create inside our home. So we have these nice little comfortable zones, comfort zones to live in. So we can look out our windows and make sense of the world around us because we're nice and safe inside this comfort zone and we're not going to allow things in. If we can do that, we stay open and we just are accepting of life as it's meant to be. We stay these open vessels, which we are meant to be as body and mind. But too many of us go to those doors because we're confused, we're not sure who we are, we're not sure why we're here, and we're looking out and there's all these things happening around us. It seems so dangerous. We go to the windows or the doors and we close them on both sides so nothing can get in. We'll open them selectively when we see something we like, but for the most part we close those in our protective personality mode, in our egos that are trying to survive and thrive as egos, because we become very identified with these little comfort zones that we've created, and we believe that this is who we are because that's all we're focusing on. It's safer and easier to focus on this little me and the dramas it is experiencing rather than everything else around us, because we're only given little slices of earth to be on in the first place, right? This is meant to be my experience and I'm supposed to look at it, but it's meant to be an open experience. But I have gone, because of fear usually and a misunderstanding of who I am, gone to close those windows and doors on either side so there is no breeze flowing through. When life looks like, when I look at the window and I see something, oh, that might make me feel better, I'll open the window a bit, let it blow through, then I'll shut it again, and I end up keeping it inside me. So I have living in this, instead of a nice spacious space that the wind just blows through, I'm living in this very crowded and cramped, messy comfort zone that I created and called me, and made sense of my world through that. I can barely look out the window now and see what's there because I've crowded it all in here and made a mess of things. And I've closed. I've resisted life. And when I close those windows and those doors, I'm resisting life. I'm telling life that it's here to serve me, and I'm only going to allow the good stuff in, and I'm going to close the other things that I don't want. I'm going to leave them out there. But what we end up doing when we open that door to say, no, you're not coming in, it slips in. We close the door and it stays in. So we end up storing all the stuff we don't want, just as much as we are storing the stuff we do want. And those are our samskaras. And this is a mess we've created inside these zones we've created and called me. So closing is resisting to life. Closing is not allowing life to be life and allowing life to blow right through. And when we close, we create these personalities, these egos, these protective selves, these little me's. And it's through those through which we live. And it's very limiting and messy and painful. And there's a lot of suffering because, hey, how are you going to live in these messes when you're seeing the world through these messes? Right? Just distorted what reality is. Closing causes suffering. Resistance causes suffering. You have to remember the saying that where attention goes, energy flows. So when our attention is on our mess, energy, the consciousness, pure awareness of who we are, which is basically just energy, because everything is energy, is focused on this mess. When the windows are open on both sides, you have the wind blowing in and just sweeping everything outside the other window. That energy, our attention is following it out. We're just following life as it blows in and blows out, rather than focusing our energy on the messes we've made inside. And we cleanse ourselves out. And that's yoga. That's what yoga purification is all about, is learning to keep both sides of those windows or doors open on either side so that life can just flow in and out. And yes, it will be painful sometimes because it's going to sweep up and stir up our messes before it takes it out. But we're just meant to experience life, allow our energy to follow that life pattern coming in and out, rather than to being attached to these self-concepts and ideas we created that created such a mess. We need to stay open. We need to stay open to life and all life is, all life has to offer. Because all of it is good. All of it is meant to be. And without our judging mind, we would be allowing all that stuff to come in, and we would be keeping our doors and windows open so we could experience that wonderful May breeze that is so cleansing, purifying, and invigorating, that contains within it the Satchitananda, who we are. The existence, the consciousness, the bliss of who we really are. And we'd be following that. So our energy follows that. And our energy would go up, rather than staying down in these crap messes that we've created when we close to life. Wow, I just rambled again, way over time again. I've got to get my watch back. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.